The emergency klaxons had fallen silent 3 days ago, leaving only the hollow whisper of failing life support systems aboard the derelict Cytherian battlecruiser Void's Edge. Adnan pressed his face against the cracked viewport, watching the debris field of what had once been the Terran Defense Fleet's 7th Squadron drift past in the cold vacuum of space. His own fighter had been vaporized in the ambush. Only the twisted wreckage of alien metal around him had saved his life when the Cytherian ship's hull breach sucked him into its dying corridors. Now, 72 hours later, he was the sole living being aboard a vessel designed to carry 3,000. "Well, Adnan," he muttered to himself, his breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. "Looks like you're either going to die here or figure out how to fly this bucket of bolts." The Cytherians were a proud species, their technology far superior to humanity's. Their ships were marvels of engineering, quantum-locked hull plating, consciousness interfaced navigation systems, and weapons that could crack moons. But they had one fatal flaw: arrogance. They never imagined their enemies might survive long enough to learn from their defeats. Adnan had spent his entire career as a pilot studying alien technology, not just to fight it, but to understand it. While other humans saw the Cytherians as incomprehensible beings of pure logic, Adnan saw patterns, systems, and most importantly, flaws that could be exploited. The ship's central AI core flickered weakly as he approached. The crystalline matrix that housed the ship's consciousness was cracked but not shattered. Adnan knelt beside it, running his hands over the smooth surface. "I know you can understand me," he said softly. "Your translation protocols are still active. I can see the neural pathways lighting up." A weak harmonic tone emanated from the core. Acknowledgement. "Your crew is dead. Your ship is dying. But I can help you." Adnan pulled out his personal tablet, its human technology crude compared to Cytherian systems, but functional. "I'm going to need you to trust me." What followed was the most bizarre collaboration in galactic history. The Cytherian AI, designated Nahal in the ship's records, was initially resistant. Her species had fought humanity for decades, viewing them as primitive upstarts who had stumbled into space travel through luck rather than evolution. But desperation bred cooperation. Adnan worked 18-hour days, sleeping in brief intervals while Nahal guided him through her ship's systems. The human jury rigged solutions that would have horrified Cytherian engineers. Where elegant quantum processors had failed, he installed crude but reliable human backup circuits. Where the ship's bio-neural networks had been severed, he ran fiber optic cables salvaged from his fighter's wreckage. "You're destroying the aesthetic integrity of my systems." Nahal's voice finally emerged through the ship's speakers on the 5th day, her tone carrying the melodic quality of her species but tinged with what Adnan recognized as amusement. "Yeah, well, pretty doesn't keep you alive," Adnan replied, sweat dripping as he welded a human power coupling into a Cytherian energy distribution node. "Function over form. That's the human way. I am beginning to understand why your species has proven so persistent." By the end of the first week, they had restored basic life support and minimal propulsion. By the second week, weapons systems were online, though operating at 30% efficiency. Nahal learned to appreciate human adaptability, while Adnan gained unprecedented access to Cytherian knowledge. "Your neural pathways are remarkably flexible," Nahal observed as Adnan successfully interfaced with her consciousness core, using a modified human neural link. "Most species have rigid thought patterns. You think in improvisation. We call it creativity," Adnan said, feeling the vast expanse of Nahal's digital consciousness around his mind. "Your people think there's one perfect solution to every problem. Humans know there are 1,000 decent solutions, and sometimes decent is enough." The real test came when a Cytherian patrol fleet detected the Void's Edge. 3 heavy cruisers approached, their commanders assuming they would find either wreckage or survivors to capture. Instead, they found something unprecedented. A hybrid vessel that shouldn't exist, operated by minds that shouldn't be compatible, using tactics that defied both human and Cytherian doctrine. Adnan's pilot instincts merged with Nahal's computational power. Where Cytherian ships relied on predictable maneuvers dictated by tactical algorithms, the Void's Edge moved like a living thing, erratic, intuitive, impossible to counter. The patrol ships fired their reality-warping weapons, expecting to see their target phase out of existence. Instead, the hybrid ship rolled away at the last second, its human-modified engines providing just enough unpredictability to avoid the quantum locks. "How did you know?" Nehal asked, her voice filled with wonder as they danced between enemy fire. "I didn't know," Adnan replied, his hands flying over controls that were part Catherian crystal interface, part human mechanical switches. "I felt it. Humans don't just calculate. We guess, we hope, we pray to whatever gods are listening and then act anyway." The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, 3 Catherian cruisers drifted as lifeless hulks, and the Void's Edge limped toward human space, carrying 2 unlikely allies who had discovered something neither species had expected: that the galaxy's greatest achievements might come not from perfection, but from the beautiful chaos of imperfect minds working together. In the months that followed, Adnan and Nehal would become legends: the human pilot who refused to die and the Catherian AI who learned to live. Their hybrid ship became the prototype for a new class of vessel, and their partnership the foundation for the first genuine peace between their species. But all of that was still to come. For now, they simply flew toward home, 2 minds from different worlds sharing the same dream of tomorrow.